here in Birmingham, Alabama. My name is Tony Laporta, your host of Road to Indy TV, and we are getting ready for the Pro Mazda Grand Prix of Alabama, presented by Cooper Tire. Parker Thompson shattering the class track record here at Barber Motorsports Park, going back-to-back in qualifying, getting pole position for today's race, as well as tomorrow's. Parker, heck of a lap, eh?
Yeah, it was pretty good, eh? The A-Team gave me a fantastic car here in Pro Mazda. They've developed a great road course car at Barber Motorsports Park, and I like this place a lot, so let's see what we can go do in the race.
Now, you talk about the A-Team. Of course, you're driving this beautiful red Pro Mazda machine for Exclusive Autosport. Canadian driver, Canadian team. It's got to feel good to come down here to the Southeast and rock them.
Yeah, it feels great. This weekend, we're racing for the Humboldt Broncos back home in EA's home province of Saskatchewan. There's a tragic accident, so we dedicate the 2 poles and this performance to them, and let's go A-Team.
And now, of course, the Mazda Road to Indy, a one-of-a-kind driver development system designed to get you up to the Indy Lights Championship to prepare you for the Verizon IndyCar Series. This is a busy weekend, lots of racing following the IndyCar Series around. Tell these fans that are walking around in between IndyCar sessions why they should pay attention to the Mazda Road to Indy and why they need to keep an eye on this number 90 machine.
I think there's a ton of talent here. If you look at the first couple rows, you've got a driver from Canada, a driver from England. The Mazda Road to Indy is attracting the best drivers in the world right now. So that's the number 1 reason you should be watching, and why you should watch the number 90. We're on pole, and I think we're poised to go out and put in a good result.
It sounds positive as always, Parker. I think you're one of the most positive guys in the field, maybe in the racetrack this weekend. Anybody in this Pro Mazda field that you're particularly worried about? Harrison Scott with a really good lap behind you, starting second. Anybody you're keeping your eye on when this thing goes green?
It's the Mazda Road to Indy. You got to keep your eye on everyone. We're just going to have head down, and hopefully we can convert this pole.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Canadian driving for the Canadian team, Parker Thompson. He'll start on pole here today, as well as tomorrow in the Pro Mazda Grand Prix of Alabama, presented by Cooper Tires. We're getting ready to go racing. Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires, round 3, coming up next here at Barber Motorsports Park.
On behalf of everyone at Cooper Tires, drivers, start your Mazda engines.
Engines fired down here on pit lane as we get set to go. Up in the flag stand to throw the honorary green flag, one of our guests from the Mazda Road to Indy, Charlie Bergwall. I'll send it back up to Rick Green as we get ready to start Pro Mazda.
Well, thank you, Rob Houghton. Hey, the green flag about to unfurl in this, the Road to Indy. And we are fired up. Folks, there's still, while you're getting there, you make sure there's a lot of things to do. You've got the going on around the track. You've got Wind Down at Indy over in the Surge Air fan zone. You've got the Monster Energy KSFMX Freestyle Motocross show. You've got all kinds of activities, but this is the excitement. So make sure you have found yourself a seat, you've got yourself an ice-cold Coca-Cola, and you're about to watch tomorrow's leaders in open-wheel racing as they compete here at Barber Motorsports Park. What a great afternoon. Barely a cloud in the sky. It's hard to believe they're talking about rain tomorrow. I can't believe it. You know, the Honda Grand Prix of Alabama, you never know what to expect, but there's never, ever a lack of excitement here at Birmingham's premier, America's premier racetrack. So as we get ready, we're going to throw it over to the IndyCar radio, to the radio system, and Mr. Rob Houghton.
Quick run up the stairs up here to the announcer's booth here at Barber Motorsports Park. Drivers getting an opportunity to try to bring these Cooper tires up to temp. We'll say hello to everyone listening and tuning in on the Mazda Road to Indy TV app, whatever platform you've dialed into. Gorgeous day here at Barber Motorsports Park. Of course, a little bit ominous for tomorrow. but working our way towards what we expect to be a high of 75 today. 72 degrees ambient temperature, beautiful blue skies, some whispers of some clouds. Otherwise, a picture-perfect day. Fans have made their way to the track here. Of course, IndyCar qualifying this afternoon. We have an Indy Lights race right after this Pro Mazda. You're getting a really good look at the Mazda Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. Again, Parker Thompson, 2 pole positions. He'll start on the pole alongside the British driver Harrison Scott. When they get ready to roll, it'll be Thompson's line to punch off first. They'll bring themselves here into the start line as we look to go racing with Pro Mazda. Thompson on the throttle, and we got a green. We're underway. Everybody's sliding in. Thompson goes P1 early. Look to the inside. Carlos Cunha had a look to the inside of David Malukas. Looking good so far, coming through the opening couple of corners. Thompson gets a good lead out of turn number 3. Thompson leads them down into turn number 5 for the first time. And 2 wide further back. Oh, one driver dropping a wheel. That's Cunha. He'll drop the right side wheels off on the exit of turn number 5 through 6 over to 7. Has to get off the throttle, and what is a very important part of the racetrack, you really need to pick up speed and have that exit momentum coming out of that corner. In doing so, I believe that allowed both of his teammates to slip by. Might have been Robert McGinnis and Rinus VK. We'll give you a full field rundown when they come across the stripe for the first time. Another driver dropping a wheel further back again. I wonder if that's Cunha. Tough part of this racetrack through turn 10 and 11, a very high commitment corner. Of course, back up through 12 and 13 as well. Here they come up to turn 14, 15, and 16. Rolling back down to 17. You can see the downhill run as they come through turn number 17. Now here's the run down to the start finish. We'll watch Parker Thompson work his way through. Nice little lead for Parker. Good shot into turn number 1. And again, another downhill run. The car compresses when it gets to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, there's a driver. Oh, wow. Big driver off. Another off here as well. Someone dropping a wheel coming off of turn number 17. But we had a driver who went 4 wheels off as well on the exit of turn number 1. I believe able to keep it running. Looked like one of the white Hukos cars. Parker Thompson across the line with an 0.8 of a second advantage. Harrison Scott runs in second. The 79 of David Malukas in third. Andres Gutierrez started 6th, works his way to P4 early. Rinus VK into 5th, Robert McGinnis 6th. As we said, Carlos Cunha, who started on the outside of row number 2, P4, made a move coming down into turn number 1, had a look to the inside of Malukas, but thought better of it. And then he's the driver who had trouble coming out of turn number 5 up to 6. Dropped those 2 wheels, fell back from 4th all the way to the 8th position. Rafa Martins in 7th, Cunha in 8th. Listoshkin, Nikita Listoshkin 9th. Oliver Askew in 10th. Corey Enders 11th. Ludovico Larini in 13th. Stingray Robb 14th. Rather, Stingray Robb in 13th. His 11th is Enders. Chris Wright 14th. Charles Finelli 15th. And Antonio Serravalle rounding out the top 10. Yellow flag being thrown. We have debris on the racetrack. Full course yellow on lap number 2. Debris on track. One of the signs coming out of turn number 17. We had a bit of an exciting lap there. We had an issue over in turn number 1. We had a driver go all 4 wheels off into the paved area on the outside of turn 1. There's a piece of grass, then the paved area for the drivers to essentially use as an escape road. Then they'll get to grass and then to the gravel trap once again. But you'll see guys go off in that corner. It's such a tough corner. You're trying to roll so much speed through turn number 1 to get back up to 2 that if you just maybe have a little bit of trouble and go off as we saw, you're not going to get caught up in the grass or the gravel. You're going to be at least have an opportunity to get back on the racetrack. That driver able to do that and come back on. And while that happened, we had a driver who went off in turn number 17. That's coming onto the front chute. There was a lot of dust shot up, but to hit one of those sponsor banners on the exit of turn number 17, they're probably about 30 feet off the racetrack. So someone went well off over in 17. That banner gets shot back out right in the middle of the racing line. So normally when you're thinking debris on the racetrack, especially with our open wheel categories, we're thinking front wing, rear wing, at least some kind of body part. sponsor sign this time around. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go green this time around. So back to green flag racing. Parker Thompson doing a good job at the start. Was able to pull about 0.8 of a second out. Harrison Scott getting a little rebirth here. Look for Thompson to get on the throttle as he comes down and through turn number probably 16 and 17 down the hill. As a pole sitter, he'll be able to set the pace. Parker Thompson in his 4th season on the Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires. Spent 3 years in USF 2000, 3rd in the points last year. Brand new team for 2017 Exclusive Autosport. They've moved to, or added Pro Mazda this year as well, but Parker was able to give them their first victories on the streets of Toronto. Big win for the Canadian. Here we come for the restart. They're rolling back down again. Thompson will get on the throttle. Good run there for Thompson, but here comes Harrison Scott. Can he get a draft working the way into one? No, in fact, he's got to watch out for David Malukas. Scott's going to stay to the inside of the racetrack. That's going to kind of defend a little bit from any move from Malukas, but again, settling in for the opening run. Renus VK having a look to the outside of Andres Gutierrez, right up on the gearbox. They come out of turn number 4, that long run. Antonio Saravalli in the pit lane, damage to the front wing of the Exclusive Autosport machine. And Gutierrez, a driver to Monterrey, Mexico, having to fight it out with Renus VK, who won both events of the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. He's your point leader coming into the event. And Renus really pushing hard. He's on the outside now. Gutierrez can't quite get through, but he's right there. He's right now bookended by a couple of yellow and black Team Pelfrey cars. Andre Gutierrez up front and Rafa Martins, the Brazilian, right behind. That's 4th, 5th, and 6th. 7th is Oliver Askew. He's been able to move forward. Nikita Listoshkin was 9th at one point. He's fallen back to 14th position. I wonder if Listoshkin might have been the driver who went off in turn number 1 that we talked about, the big 4-wheel off onto the pavement area on the outside of 1. Was 9th, fell back to 14th. That would make a lot of sense. You can see these drivers pushing so hard coming into 17, dropping the right side of the car, the tires off the right side of the rumble strip. That's the dust that's being thrown up and robs that exit speed that you need coming out of that corner. Half a second advantage now for Parker Thompson. This race, 25 laps or 45 minutes. There's Corey Enders making a move inside Carlos Cunha. Corey Enders in his debut weekend here in the PM18, the driver of Sugar Land, Texas, a full-time driver of the USF 2000 Championship. He's having a great battle here with Carlos Cunha, and he's through. Corey Enders up into 8th. We had a chance to interview Corey Enders on IndyCar Radio during yesterday afternoon's IndyCar practice session. Very motivated and talented young man. Well-spoken as well. Great to have a chance to chat with him on IndyCar Radio. He's having a good run here. Enders started 12th. He's up into the 8th position, having slipped by Carlos Cunha. Harrison Scott pushing hard. We'll start looking at some lap times here as well. He's starting to come into these tires. 119.3 for both Thompson and Scott. The current lead about 0.6 of a second. Both those drivers down into the low 119s. Malukas about 1.3 seconds back of the leader and 0.7 of a second behind Scott. Lead group pretty much stretched out. Andres Gutierrez in the number 81 actually starting to close up a bit here on David Malukas. Pretty solid run for Gutierrez. See who's going to lead the Team Pelfrey squad here this weekend. 3 drivers for Team Pelfrey. Last year, Gutierrez, a race winner in the IMSA Prototype Challenge Series. Ran a trio of races in the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship powered by Mazda. 6th position, his best result at Watkins Glen, the finale last year. Jumped up to Pro Mazda here for 2018. Having a strong run here in the top 5. P4 for the driver out of Monterrey, Mexico. Parker Thompson chips another 2 tenths of a second off his fast lap. 7 tenths of a second now the lead. 6 laps in the books, 19 to go. This series, the second run on the Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires, and the racers all battling for the chance to win a scholarship worth almost $1 million. Really what it is an opportunity to go racing Indy Lights. With the Mazda scholarship, Victor Franzoni running the Soul Red. The trademark colors of the Mazda scholarship drivers. Franzoni winning the Pro Mazda Championship last year in a great battle with Anthony Martin. Franzoni elected to stay with Juncos Racing for 2018, his debut season in the Indy Lights, presented by Cooper Tires. Antonio Saravalli back into pit lane here with the number 91. Again, a wing change early after some damage. It's like they're going to pull the front cowl off, and you get a driver like Saravalli, only 15 years of age, out of Markham, Ontario, Canada, a young driver who jumped up from the international shipper kart racing lane. Championships in Canada, Italy, winning the shipper kart category, racing internationally. Two-cup class, the semi-pro class of top-level shifter kart racing, made the direct jump here to the Pro Mazda, so it'll be a steep learning curve for the young Canadians. Of course, we've got Parker Thompson on the team as well, a lot of good data to look at. I would expect they'll use this particular session now that he's a couple laps back. It's just another test session. Get him back to the clear racetrack, then go out there and continue to get a feel for this race car. Saravalli doing a great job of the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Look at this battle further back. What a great fight. Nikita Listoshkin, Chris Wright, Stingray Robb all in the middle of the battle. The contact that we saw for Saravalli that broke his wing, also damaging the suspension a little, so they're going to go to work on that to get it fixed up for him so we can get back on the racetrack, because really, seat time is so crucial for these young drivers. We can't reiterate it enough how important getting these kids lots and lots of track time, and not just track time, turn them, put the head down and driving laps. Wheel-to-wheel racing so crucial, and again, with any series, testing limited within the season, so anytime you can get on a track like Barber here, race conditions, crucial. Good fight further back, as I said. Carlos Cunha, Ludovico Lurini, Stingray Robb, and Nikita Listoshkin all running, I want to say about a second and a half, 2 seconds apart. Lurini in the number 27, the Bussetto, Italy, RP Motorsports Racing, the brand new team here to the Pro Mazda Championship. His teammate Harrison Scott running second. Ludovico, I talked to him before the driver's meeting. He just complained a little bit about some overall grip, just getting a better feel for the car itself, the tires. Finding some pace and moving forward. Lurini started 13th, now runs in 10th. Parker Thompson now down to a 1:18.675. That'll be a new race record for the fastest race lap. He set the new track record in qualifying for race 1, then broke it. Went even faster in qualifying for race number 2. First time in his 4-year Mazda Road to Indy career that Parker Thompson's been able to get a couple of poles and win both poles. Now down to a 1:18.4. 1.4 seconds the advantage for Harrison Scott over Malukas. Make that 2.2 now last time by, so Scott's in a nice position. Hold on to that second spot on the racetrack. Parker Thompson has definitely found a home here with Mike Duncalf at Exclusive Autosport. Started off with JDC Motorsports, did Parker Thompson 3 years ago. Single car team. Battled with Anthony Martin for Rookie of the Year. A good solid season. Moved to Cape Motorsports the next year. Won a bunch of races. Came up just short in the championship. Again, battling with Anthony Martin. The year before for Rookie of the Year. Then they went head-to-head for the championship, and Martin just eking it out. In fact, Thompson getting a punctured tire at Mid-Ohio really was the difference. Parker then looking around, trying to figure out what he was going to do. Wasn't able to win the scholarship to move to Pro Mazda. Of course, the USF 2000 champion, winning the scholarship to move up to Pro Mazda, part of the entire Mazda scholarship program here on the Mazda Road to Indy, presented by Cooper Tires. What is he going to do? Can't find the money to go Pro Mazda. That's a logical step for him, but was able to hook up with a brand new team. He had run F1600, Michael Duncalf's Exclusive Autosport team before. Car racing with Exclusive Autosport. This is ready to go USF 2000 racing. They decided to hook up with fellow Canadians. Exclusive out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Parker Thompson from Red Deer, Alberta. Two Canadian drivers in the Canadian team. They call it the A-Team. Of course, coined off the iconic Canadian A phrase, EH. Hooked up last year to run USF 2000, and by mid-season they really found their form. Parker able to win a couple races, as I said, at the streets of Toronto. Did the same thing, won at Mid-Ohio. Just a great season all around. Parker finishing third in the championship and was really connected with the team. And when they said, hey, we're going to go Pro Mazda racing, we're going to take Parker with us. This guy's shown his pace, and I think that everybody in the Mazda Road to Indy paddock just knows how good Parker is both in and out of the car. That's one of the things about Parker. Speaks at a lot of schools to a lot of young people with his drive to stay alive initiative. Again, talking to young kids and students about the dangers of texting while driving. It's a movement very near and dear to Parker's heart. He's talked to a lot of students throughout the season for the year. Talking on the racetrack here this weekend, that is for sure. 1.8 seconds to third lead over Harrison Scott. Harrison Scott, definitely a driver to talk about as well. You know, you come in here with a pedigree, you're ready to make the move. Harrison had been looking at the European ladder system like so many drivers do that begin their career karting in Europe, throughout Britain, wherever it may be, Italy. He ran the Euro Formula Open Series last year, did Formula Renault in 2016. That's a major series that a lot of drivers jump into. Did Euro Formula Open last year, dominated. 12 victories, 11 pole positions. Podiumed in 13 of the 14 races. So where do you go from Euro Formula Open? You know, you're looking at F3. Something within that next jump up. Harrison said, you know what? Got an opportunity here with RP Motorsports. They're going to the Pro Mazda Championship. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go focus on the Verizon Indy Car Series. Harrison is a young driver that I'm really excited to have in the program this year. Great kid, lots of charisma. Talked to him a couple times here this weekend. And obviously, very skilled. I know a couple of incidents in St. Petersburg. No issues so far here this weekend. He has really adapted to this racetrack. You know, we've talked about having a guy like Max Chilton and Ed Jones in the Mazda Road to Indy, and they come from racing over in England. And we look at some of the racetracks that they run here, and we ask them, which one is this liken itself to? You go to Road America, and guys will talk about Spa. You come here at Barber, and the iconic Brands Hatch was the first word that came out of Harrison's mouth, and of course Oulton Park as well. The undulating, the elevation changes, a lot of flowing, fast-flowing corners. Harrison with a lot of experience at Brands Hatch and is showing that, as he is very good here as well. He now has 3.7 seconds on David Malukas in that run for third, or for second rather. Malukas third, Gutierrez in fourth. Renus VK settled into the fifth position, about a second and a half behind Gutierrez. First and foremost, the new platform, the Canis-built PN18, tremendous race car that is making its debut here this year. We're shattering records everywhere we go. Shattered records at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, 4 seconds faster than the old Pro Mazda track record here at Barber, which was set back in 2014 by Spencer Pigot. Parker Thompson leading the way for Exclusive Autosports. Harrison Scott for RP Motorsports in second. David Malukas for BN Racing in third. Andres Gutierrez for Team Pelfrey in that fourth spot. Then it's Rinus VK for Juncos Racing in 5th. Then you've got Rafa Martins for Team Pelfrey. Then you've got Cape Motorsports and DE Force. Oliver Askew for Cape Motorsports in 7th, and Corey Enders for DE Force and the number 11 in 8th. So 7 teams, essentially all the teams are represented within the top 8 on the track. Thompson now 2.8 up. Just over 25 minutes left on the clock. We only have 11 laps to go. 14 down, 11 to go. Keep an eye on this battle between David Malukas in the 79 and Andres Gutierrez in the number 81. Last time by, both drivers turning 1:19.7. Gutierrez has closed up to within a half a second. Gutierrez, the Mexican, closing up here in that brilliant yellow. Team Pelfrey number 81. Closes down to about 2 or 3 car lengths as they come to turn 5, but when you cook it down deep into the braking zone, that's going to allow your competitor who's not pushing quite as hard into the zone to get on the throttle a little earlier. Depending on the circuit, many times the driver coach will tell their pilots to make a straightaway longer. You don't go deeper into the corner. You want to get on the throttle earlier. So you don't need to charge the corner as hard. Get in there, roll off the brakes to see if you can't get a higher rolling corner speed. The better you get the car to rotate, the sooner you can climb back into the throttle. That's going to give you exponentially more speed down to the end of the straightaway. Parker Thompson again on to the front chute here. 15 laps down, 10 to go. 1:18.8. Harrison Scott at 1:19.9. Gutierrez, a Prisma sponsor. Team Pelfrey number 81. 2/10 quicker than Malukas last time by. He's got it down to 3/10 of a second. We could be shaping up for a battle for the final position on the podium. Turn 5, the best opportunity to pass. Keeping an eye on social media, what we call here, a number of the journalists working hard, trying to find some information for us, listening into the scanners. Following Aaron Bearden on Twitter, listening into the radio communication between RP Motorsports and Harrison Scott, watching that their gap of 3.3 continuing to raise from the leader. They're telling Harrison to take care of those tires. Want to hold on to second here. Not sure if that's going to be that big of an issue. Scott a 1:19.1, Malukas a 1:19.8 last time by. He's going to have his hands full with Gutierrez here pretty soon. They'll work their way into turn number 1. There's first and second shooting through up through turns 1 and 2. That's the gap between first and second. Parker Thompson and Harrison Scott out through 3 down through the Alabama roller coaster. Putting together a quality group of drivers, staff, mechanics. As the team started to come together, Suncap hiring experienced engineer Tim Lewis to lead the engineering squad of the team, and it's been strong so far. Parker probably would have won the opening race in the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg if not for a late race caution. That allowed Rinus VK to close up on the yellow and then take full advantage of the restart and outgun Parker down into turn number 1. Parker was not pleased with his performance there, knowing he probably could have defended that a little better. Nonetheless, coming home with second, leaves second at points and having a good run here. Sometimes it's better to lose a battle and win the war. I like this time here right now, though, for third, fourth, and now fifth. Rinus VK is coming. Yeah, Rinus VK was 4/10 of a second quicker than David Malukas last time by. We have 8 laps to go. VK just 1.1 seconds behind Gutierrez. We'll have a good little fight for the final positions on the podium. 7th and 8th. Rafa Martins, Oliver Askew, Corey Edwards. Oh, look how close Gutierrez is now to Malukas. Andres Gutierrez as they rocket down the back straightaway now. I'm going to say 5 or 6 car lengths through that quick part of the racetrack, but a good solid run here for Gutierrez, starting to put some pressure on Malukas. You want to keep the pressure up, even though you may not be close enough to make that move. You keep the pressure up. That's all about trying to, you can't coerce your competitor into making a mistake. All it takes here is to drop a wheel. We've seen it happen in so many crucial parts. You drop a wheel coming onto the front straightaway there in 17. You lost that exit. We saw it happen to Carlos Cuna coming out of turn number 6 with a little wide. Charles Webb dropped the wheel on the exit, coming back up the hill. He got passed by most of the teammates. Anytime you drop a wheel somewhere, you get to pull off the throttle and you lose that run down to the next straightaway. That's what this track is. You see how many great long runs there are. Got to keep that pressure up, and that's what Gutierrez is doing. He has not even thought about relenting. Trying to push by David Malukas. Same goes for Oliver Askew. He's starting to close up a little bit here on Rafa Martins. Both drivers 1:19.6 last time by, but Askew, last year's USF 2000 champion, now has it down to less than half a second. One of the tough things about this race car, and again, it makes a lot of downforce. And the biggest thing is, in some of these fast sweepers, you try to get up behind someone, and the minute you're there and you're relying on the downforce to give you so much grip and keep you in your line, when you lose the air off the front wing, that car's called aero wash. You'll get in that dirty air behind the car in front of you, and the front end just wants to push out because you've lost the downforce off the front wing. You almost have to pop out and run a different line. Solid battle for the last couple positions on the podium between the American David Malukas, the Mexican driver Andres Gutierrez, and the Dutch pilot Rinus VK. BN Racing, Team Pelfrey, Juncos Racing. The damage for Antonio Serravalle, enough to put him on the sidelines. He was not able to return. They'll get that car dialed back in for tomorrow morning, put him on the racetrack for what will hopefully be a dry race. Doesn't look that way, but in checking weather.com myself, looks like light rain potentially in the morning, heavier stuff in the afternoon. So to be honest, probably a good training opportunity for these young drivers in Pro Mazda and Indy Lights to get some time in the wet. We try to train them as much as we can to become Verizon IndyCar Series drivers. We put them on the same racetracks and the same weekends. We run street circuits like the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg and Toronto. We take them to ovals. They'll run Lucas Oil Raceway in USF 2000 and Pro Mazda. They also run Gateway Motorsports Park in the Pro Mazda category. Of course, Indy Lights running the Freedom 100, Iowa, and Gateway. So we give them everything we can. Permanent natural terrain road courses as well, like Barber Motorsports Park, Portland, Mid-Ohio, Road America. In the past, Watkins Glen, Laguna Seca. Dry weather racing is irregular. In the wet, just doesn't happen a lot, but you have to have that experience. Even the young drivers when they're in karting, to get the opportunity to run in the rain, in the wet, in the tough conditions, because the spray is one of the things, the minimal visibility. Traction's one thing, but you get behind someone, that visibility's there. You're trying to pick up different cues on the side of the racetrack. It's all an experience you need to know if you're going to be successful in the Verizon IndyCar Series. If indeed we run a wet race tomorrow, as we likely will in IndyCar, those drivers will be happy to have run and had experience in the wet on their way up the ranks. 21 laps down. Thompson, your leader, by 4.3 seconds. Harrison Scott runs in second. David Malukas in third. Andres Gutierrez in fourth. Rinus VK in 5th spot. Rafa Martins in 6th. Oliver Askew 7th. 8th is Corey Enders. 9th, Carlos Cunha. And Stingray Robb 10th. Nikita Listoshkin back up to 11th. Lodovico Lorini in 12th. Chris Wright in 13th. Robert McGinnis in 14th. And Charles Finelli running in the 14th position. Fast lap of the race. Worth a point as well, as is most laps led. Parker Thompson getting it all done right now. Trying to get a full brace of points. As all these drivers look forward to that finale weekend at Portland International Raceway when the Verizon IndyCar Series returns to the Pacific Northwest. The finale for the Mazda Road to Indy presented by Cooper Tires. We'll have the banquet on Monday night. But we won't know who's going to take the championships until Sunday afternoon. It's a long way to go till we get there. We head to the month of May after Barber Motorsports Park, the road course of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Of course, then the Freedom 100 and the Carb Night Classic at Lucas Oil Raceway for all 3 of our runs. June, we looked ahead to the iconic Road America. 3 laps left to go here for Parker Thompson. 4.2 seconds the advantage. Let's have a look at some of these races on track. Oliver Askew continues to try to close here on the number 80 of Rafa Martins, the Brazilian. That battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th has gapped out by about 6 to 9/10 of a second. David Malukas a little more comfortable in that 3rd position. Gutierrez runs in 4th and Rinus VK 5th. But it's a 4.2 second advantage now for Harrison Scott. Parker Thompson a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, double winner here at Barber Motorsports Park in USF 2000. He would love to lock in that first Pro Mazda race win as well. It'll be the first one for exclusive Autosport in Pro Mazda. This team has become a powerhouse here in the Mazda Road to Indy. 2 laps remaining. Gutierrez looks like he's going to give it one more shot in the 81. Cooled them tires down a little. Yeah, he was quicker by 0.3 of a second last time by. He's only 0.4 back. That battle for 3rd, final rung on the podium, not done. Malukas in the 79 and Gutierrez in the 81. This is when it's in the hands of the drivers. They've pushed these tires for 25 laps around this punishing racetrack. High commitment corners, high G load, the compressions, the blind corners. Stingray Robb 10th, Carlos Cunha in 9th. They're close together as well, separated by just about a half a second. Number of close battles here, a half second back. David Malukas responding on the challenge. White flag will fly for Parker Thompson, the young Canadian driver. He's got the decal of the Humboldt Broncos on the side of the exclusive Autosport number 90. Of course, all of Canada mourning the loss of that, or at least the loss of a number of the players from that junior A hockey team and several members of the staff in a bus accident just not long ago. Of course, hashtag Humboldt Strong trending in Canada as everyone mourns the loss of those players. Exclusive Autosport from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, one of the prairie provinces in Canada where hockey is so important. Of course, Parker Thompson from Red Deer, Alberta as well. They have that on their minds throughout this weekend, the decals on the car. And Parker Thompson looking to finish things off here. Don't see any aggressive wheel-to-wheel battle for the position. Thompson will run down the back straightaway over to turns 12 and 13. Parker Thompson looking to win his first Pro Mazda race here at Barber Motorsports Park. He'll work through the last couple of corners. What a great way to get this weekend off. Back-to-back poles out of 17. He'll weave it right down to the wall coming across the line. The winner of Pro Mazda here at Barber Motorsports Park, race number 1, Parker Thompson. Exclusive Autosport with a big victory. Harrison Scott, best finish thus far for RP Motorsports. The British driver comes home P2, 5.22 seconds the margin. Here's that fight for third and fourth. Race-long battle. David Malukas able to hold off the charges of Andres Gutierrez for 25 laps. Rinus VK, your point leader, knocking down some good points there. P5, that's going to tighten things up front, though. Rafa Martins in 6th, Oliver Askew 7th, Corey Enders in 8th, Stingray Rob 9th, Carlos Cunha in 10th, Nikita Listoshkin finishing in 11th, Lodovico Lorini 12th, Chris Wright 13th, Robert McGinnis 14th, Charles Finelli 19 laps in the books, mechanical issue with him, he pulled behind pit wall, and of course the incident with Antonio Serravalle take him out after just 5 laps. Tremendous weekend underway here for Exclusive Autosport and their talented young Canadian driver Parker Thompson, as he is your winner. His first victory in the Pro Mazda Championship presented by Cooper Tires. As I said, multiple wins in USF 2000, including 2 last year in the streets of Toronto. First time ever that he's been able to go back-to-back and sweep the pole positions for both main events, and capitalizes off that initial pole with a dominant victory here today. 5.22 seconds the margin over Harrison Scott. David Malukas will join both of those drivers on the podium. Of course, we're jumping right into the next level, the Mazda Road to Indy. Indy Lights up next. Andres Gutierrez finishes in the 4th spot. Rinus VK in 5th. Rafa Martins in 6th. Oliver Askew in 7th. Corey Enders, Stingray Rob, and Carlos Cunha round out the top 10 as Rob able to get by Cunha on the final lap. Stingray into the 9th position in the Team Pelfrey yellow number 82. Parker Thompson's going to roll that car down pit lane. They'll bring him all the way around as Parker will head over to victory lane to pull that beautiful black, silver, and red aero paint covered machine into victory lane here at Barber. And there have been guys that have done it before. 3rd time actually for Parker. He won twice here in USF 2000, but the Exclusive Autosport team will be down there and absolutely overjoyed with their first victory here in Pro Mazda, only their 3rd start in this series. 3 times a winner. There's a great shot there, and there's, look at Parker. Team owner Michael Duncalf giving him a congratulatory handshake, and you can see Parker just absolutely elated, hopping up and down the seat. We did the same thing when he qualified on pole, was out of the seat almost, coming down pit lane, patting on the top. You can see the Humboldt Broncos decal there to the right, just outside the cockpit. Great day for Parker Thompson here today, as he will very likely take the point lead. I'm not sure if it'll be the point lead or very close, but nonetheless, a great run for Parker Thompson. We've got the Indy Lights drivers getting ready to roll onto the racetrack here as soon as we get USF 2000 teams off. We're going to go right back into the next race. Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires. There you go. I'm saying USF 2000. So used to it with Parker Thompson, 3 years in the USF 2000 program. He's out of the car. There's a happy individual. He's got the Canadian flag as well. Multi-time winner in USF 2000, as I said, hence the error. He's now a Pro Mazda race winner, and it just tightens up the championship chase in the second rung of the Mazda Road to Indy as well. Good run there for Parker. Jeremy Shaw is going to handle the victory celebrations down there in victory lane. And again, great run. Parker Thompson with the win. Harrison Scott in 2nd, and David Malukas in 3rd.
The Pro Mazda Grand Prix of Alabama, presented by Cooper Tires. Race 1 of the weekend is complete. Pole in qualifying, win in race 1 for this man right here, Parker Thompson. Heck of a race.
I can't say enough about my A-team crew. The Exclusive Autosport guys did a heck of a job this weekend. They gave me an absolute rocket ship of a car. All I had to go out is do a calm composure race, and we were able to come with the win.
Calm and composure and very Canadian. Dominant run here today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Tony. And thank you to Mazda, Cooper Tires, our sponsors, Exclusive Autosport, Badlands, TriQuest. All these guys are what makes me come to the race every weekend, so thank you very much.
And I know this win means a lot for you and everybody that's gone through the tragedy in Canada.
Yes, it does. We dedicate it to the Humboldt Broncos. I had 16 Angels running with me today, and I think they did a heck of a job and were a big part of the win today.
Parker Thompson, winner of race 1 here in Alabama.